the luxury fashion crisis, and why no one seems to care anymore. Constant price increases, lowering quality standards, and oversaturation of the marketplace. Creative directors are leaving. Independent brands are failing, retailers are failing. Everyone on social media, especially here on YouTube, is constantly talking about why they're selling their luxury collection and that they're selling all of their luxury items. We're seeing bags like the Trader Joe's tote, like the Trader Joe's shopping tote, become the new it bag all over social media. Everyone's been talking about how luxury fashion is dying and how it's not the way to go anymore. It's honestly been so wild. So I feel like I've already touched on this subject a little bit here and there. I made some in the heat of the moment videos. Honestly, those are my favorite videos to film. Just sit down and, you know, roll the tape. This is a more researched, more thought out video. I thought it would be interesting to do a video that's a little more in depth and just kind of talks about my point of view and what I think is happening. And I would love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear how you guys feel about it. I feel like we have a great community here. A lot of you love luxury fashion and I think have been loving luxury fashion for a really long time. So I would love to hear your guys' input on this. But yeah, so basically where I think this all started, and I don't want to say like where it all started, but I think it kind of goes back to the pandemic, right? People were cooped up in their houses. They had you know, some of them still had jobs or worked from home, and so they had all this money that they weren't spending on eating out, going out, traveling, doing things outside. So they were treating themselves more. They were buying, you know, more maybe luxury items. They were doing a lot more shopping. I mean, this is not just luxury, you know, but yeah, they were doing a lot more shopping. And then fast forward to a more normal world, everything is way more expensive. I mean, life in general is way more expensive. And then you take that and then people are probably more now than ever wanting to travel, be outside, go outside, do all the things. So I think their priorities have kind of changed. And so people are focusing less on shopping. And then, you know, you can't talk about this sort of thing without talking about money, because money is a big part of this. Let's just talk about how brands are constantly hiking up their prices. I mean, it is just so wild. I mean, and we're not talking about like small price increases either. I feel like back in the day, you were able to buy a nice little luxury bag for maybe, I don't know, $1,000, like a starter bag, like a bag that would get your toes a little wet, you know? And now you can easily add another $600 to that. Just to give you guys an example, my Dior slingback heels, I bought those a couple years ago and I definitely paid under $1,000. They're over $1,000 now. And I know this because I took the pair that I have to Chicago with me, and then my friend bought a pair for her wedding, and yeah, they're way more expensive. Canada Goose. I have a Canada Goose jacket that I bought maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I know that's a bit of time, but I bought it for under $1,000. I think it was just around $900. She bought the exact same jacket when we were in Chicago, and it was nearly $2,000. For the exact same jacket, same style, same everything. It is identical. And I was baffled when I saw like how significant the price increases actually are. And so now I kind of feel like the luxury brands are more so catering to the rich. I mean, I think there's 22 millionaires in the US alone. And you know, those people are still gonna buy luxury items. They're not gonna suddenly stop buying luxury items. You know, they're not gonna suddenly shop at Zara just because prices are going up. They're not really that affected by it. So I think that the brands are focusing more so on that sort of customer, and people like us are kind of like, whatever, we don't care about you. However, I feel like we have been seeing more and more brands, like Bottega Veneta has come out with a candle line, Loewe has a fragrance line that they're, you know, adding to continuously. There's so many like beauty lines, like Chanel has a huge makeup like beauty line, not just makeup, skincare, stuff like that. And I think that's definitely geared more towards us because it's a bit more like, I guess, attainable, but that's not working for all the brands either. We're seeing a lot of luxury brands. Honestly, it's wild to me, like discounting stuff wildly. Farfetch has so many discounts. Sense, or however you pronounce that brand, has so many discounts. Brands like YSL are heavily discounting their bags, which is crazy because if they're having to do all these discounts, it obviously tells you that people are buying less, something's not going right. So I don't know why they wouldn't just lower their prices, but it's almost like keeping up with the Jones. Like you have Chanel making such crazy price increases. I recently saw a video about it. There's a bag that used to be like, I want to say like $4,000 is now like $10,000. I mean, they're just trying to be right up there with Hermes. And I think they're trying to like break themselves away from brands like Louis Vuitton, YSL, and stuff like that. And then I think you have all these other brands also just raising their prices to kind of keep up with that. And so it's just been wild. But anyways, yeah, so a lot of brands are discounting a lot of stuff. And so, I mean, fashion, even Fashion File, like the secondhand market has constantly, is constantly doing like sales. They constantly have sales. So I'm just like, what in the heck is even going on? Then just lower your prices. Don't make them so high to begin with where people aren't buying. You know, it really truly is something, you guys. And so, yeah, we're also seeing things like, I think Matches is gone, Farfetch. I think all of those like resellers or retail stores, like they're definitely struggling a bit. At least that's what it looks like from the outside looking in. And, you know, I don't work at any of those places, but that's just what it looks like. And so, yeah, and then a lot of people are talking about how there's just nothing exciting anymore about luxury items. Like everything's boring, everything's blah, nothing's fun anymore. Well, I think my personal opinion is that a lot of these brands are taking less risks because things aren't selling the way that they used to. So yeah, I mean, but then again, like another thing to me, and I already said this at the beginning, but it's like, the cost of living is so freaking crazy nowadays. Like it is wild. So it totally makes sense that more and more people are going to more inexpensive brands that are also like really good quality. I recently watched a video of, I forget his name, maybe he's called like the Leather Guy or something, but he basically is here on YouTube and he's probably also on TikTok or whatever, but he takes like designer bags and dissects them, takes them apart, and basically tells you the cost. He did it with a Goyard bag recently, and I watched that video and I was like, oh my God, I think the bag is like $3,000 or something, and he was basically saying that like the cost to actually make it would be like $300. I mean, we already know this, but it's wild to me. So anyways, I think that's why people are just going more towards more affordable options right now. You know, there's a lot of factors that play into this. And then let's quickly talk about all of the people that are saying, you know, they're selling all of their collections and they're done with luxury and they're getting rid of everything that they own. I'm going to make this very quick because you guys know my opinion on this. If you know me, I think, you know, it's live and let live. I'm not here to judge others or their decisions on those kind of things. And I truly believe that it can be as simple as, I have grown, I have changed, I do not feel passionate about this kind of thing anymore. Or it could be financial, you know, maybe people have other priorities financially. So it just depends on the person, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, we have been seeing that a lot, you know, and there's really no denying that, especially if you're on social media a lot and if you are a person that is really into fashion, there's no denying that more and more non-luxury bags have been labeled the new it bag. So many of them, and they're very affordable bags, and it kind of makes you look at it like, I think at the end of the day, it's like you're either really passionate about luxury and you're gonna feel a certain way about it and you're still going to buy these bags no matter what, or you're like, no, I am outpriced at this point, like I cannot afford to constantly spend that kind of money on these bags with the prices that keep on rising. And, you know, it's just, I don't know. For me personally, I love fashion so much. I'm so passionate about fashion in general. I love luxury fashion. I just recently did a video showing you guys, you know, what some things are that I recently bought. And I don't think I will ever sell my entire collection. I don't think I will ever not love luxury or buy certain luxury items. However, I am looking more on the pre-loved market for vintage bags. Number one, because of price increases. Number two, because it just kind of suits my style better at the moment. And I am one of those people where I truly have changed a bit. I am not the same person that I was when you guys maybe first started watching me. Well, I don't know when you first started watching me, but if you've been here since the very beginning, in my early 20s, I was a very like, I don't know, I lived like I was already like kind of in my 30s. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I dressed very sophisticated. I dressed very chic. I was very like uppity. And now I got pretty heavily tattooed. My style has definitely changed, okay? But the fact that I love luxury items hasn't. And I think that those two things can definitely still go together, just in a bit of a different way. So I certainly still love luxury. I will continue to buy luxury items. I will not buy a purse that is now triple the price that it was 2 years ago. I could never do that, because that's wild to me. Like, are you using a different, better quality leather? Like, what has changed for you to justify that massive of a price increase? Like, I'm a very logical person, and so for me, I could never. But yeah, the pre-loved market, I still buy things like, you know, SLGs, jewelry, stuff like that. But I buy things that I feel like I can keep in my wardrobe forever. I buy things that fit me in my lifestyle. I'm not so much buying into a lot of the bag trends anymore as I used to. Like, if there was a bag that used to be popular, I would buy it. But to sum it up and not make this too rambly and too long, like, I don't think luxury is ever going to die. I just think that there is a little bit of a problem right now, and it has a lot to do with money, in my opinion. It has a lot to do with money, you know, and it kind of feels like out of touch to sit here and do a massive luxury haul when there are people out there struggling to pay their rent. And so I think it's like, even for me, like with my YouTube channel that is predominantly about luxury, like I'm trying to like steer away from it a little bit, and I'm a little bit lost with my channel here just because of what I just said. Like, it does feel so out of touch to sit here and talk about all of this insane money that you're spending on just things when, again, there's people out there that are just struggling, you know? So yeah, I don't know, but I'm never gonna sell like all of my stuff and, you know, say I'm never gonna buy luxury items again. I just think that it's a little bit of a shit show right now, and you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at the end of it, and if it's going to get better. And yeah, but I certainly think there's nothing wrong with, you know, looking at bags that are on the vintage pre-loved market, or bags that even maybe aren't luxury, maybe brands that are, you know, up and coming, like good material bags that are still really fashionable and really cool. Like, I don't know, I've been looking a lot at like Bottega bags that are like very, very vintage. Like, to me, they just, it's so crazy for me to say because I never used to like that. But yeah, I've been looking at more stuff like that just because, again, it fits my style a lot better, and it just makes more sense right now, you know? But anyways, that was my 2 cents on this topic. Again, I would love to know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.